Hello, I'm Sarah Clark of Create Move Pilates, and today I am here to show you the single exercise, the Pilates Mermaid. So we're going to go and dig into the Pilates Mermaid just a little bit, and I want to start by telling you why you would do the Pilates Mermaid. So, hands down, Mermaid, one of my all-time favorite Pilates stretches. I would say one of my all-time favorite Pilates exercises, but there's some other exercises I really do love that focus on strength. This is definitely my favorite stretch. I love it because I'm going to show you the mat version and the beginner version, but there's also an intermediate version, there's a reformer version, there's a chair version, there's multiple versions on the Cadillac. So really you can take this and play with it anywhere. And if you go to a reformer studio, this might sound and be a little familiar to you, but if it's not, ask your teacher to show you the Mermaid, because it's an awesome workout, awesome exercise, but who doesn't want to be a Pilates mermaid? Like, seriously. So we're going to go ahead and do the mermaid. So it's a great stretch for the whole body, particularly the hip and the mid-back, and it also gets to your spine to move in all directions, which is really important because we want a healthy spine. But in relation to that, it gets your rib cage to move. And for me, this has been a revelation because oftentimes when my shoulder hurts, it's due to the fact that I'm too stiff in my upper back and in my rib cage, which connects to your upper back. Okay, so sometimes breathing and moving my rib cage around in multiple directions eases up my shoulder, which is connected to my rib cage, and makes everything feel so much better. So not only is this going to help your hip feel great and really open up your hip, but it's really going to help open up help your shoulder feel great, or shoulders feel great, and lose some tension in the top of them, and help you be able to get your breath pattern in. It's just an awesome exercise. If the shoulder, rib cage, thoracic, upper back connection is sounding a little odd and you want to know more, you can always leave me a question below. But you also might want to check out the Pilates Essentials course, which is on the Create Move Pilates website, because if you find these things to be interesting and you want to know more, that's going to go deep into that connection and a lot of the other connections and fundamentals of Pilates that's just going to help you in your practice. All right, let's go ahead and get started with the mermaid. Right now I'm sitting crisscross applesauce. That's the way they teach you in kindergarten, but now we're gonna sit like a mermaid, okay? So what this means is we're gonna swing the left leg out to the side and bring the heel around towards the butt. Does not have to be touching your butt. You just want a comfortable distance away. And then that automatically, when you're sitting in that position, brings the sole of the right foot up against the left thigh, which is what you want. So if you were sitting with your legs out in front of you, you'd bend one knee, bring the heel towards the butt, bend the other knee, bring the sole of the foot towards that thigh, okay? Not gonna lie, when I first started Pilates, that took me about 6 months to figure out, and my teacher kept having to come and put me in the position. So cut yourself some slack if that's a little confusing, and just look at what I'm doing here, okay? Your eyes are a great tool. All right, so now when we get in this position, a lot of people are like, it's too tight, my hip, which means you need this exercise. Now, there's a couple things you can do to get out of the tightness in the hip. One is just rolling up your mat and creating like a little place for your hip to rest on. Another choice, if this isn't enough lift, because honestly it's not very much, you can bring a couch cushion over, you could bring a deflated overball, or if you needed a lot of help, you could bring a brick or a bolster. Okay, so anything that's going to bring the earth up to your hip. So really what you're doing is bringing the earth up to your hips to give the hip something to relax on, so that the muscles up here can stop gripping and holding the hip in place. They can relax and let the hip just ease down. I'm gonna unroll this because I don't need it. Another thing that you can do, which is the way that I like to start mermaid in a lot of my classes, is by taking your right hand placing it on the earth to stabilize you, taking your left hand, which will help a little bit in general, and then taking your left hand, placing it on the crest of your hip, so at the top of your elephant ear of your hip, and then you're going to lift your hip up and look behind you. So right now what you're doing is rotating the top of the leg bone in the hip joint, okay, which is a ball and socket joint, so you can really think about the top of the leg moving around in the joint like a ball in a bowl. A ball in a bowl. All right, so you're looking over your shoulder, and then you can set it back down and look over the other shoulder. So we're kind of loosening up the hip by moving the socket, moving the leg in the socket, okay? So you can do that as many times as you want till it starts to feel comfortable. I usually do it about 3 times, but whatever works good for you. Then you're gonna get the hip down, and then we can start the actual mermaid exercise. So when you do mermaid, you're gonna lift both hands out to the side of the room. You're gonna let the tops of the shoulders just relax, okay? We don't need to pull them anywhere or do anything. We just need to feel them ease up and just kind of melt down the back. And just see if as they melt, you can feel them just slip into the armpits, just a touch. Then you're going to inhale and lengthen up towards the ceiling. And on your exhale, you're gonna bring the right hand to the earth and you're gonna side bend. And as you side bend, I want you to feel the base of the rib, that little last rib almost down by your hip, reaching up towards the ceiling, up and over. Picturing your rib cage making a rainbow, okay? You're really, really, really reaching. And then you're gonna take an inhale here, holding the position. And on your exhale, you're gonna feel the rib cage connect into the body, so lifting a little bit as you rotate towards the earth. Now here, there's a couple things you can do with the arm. You can keep reaching and feeling that nice space in the width of the back, and you can just hold it and inhale into that space, into that stretch. But another thing you can do is you can bring the hand all the way to the earth, which changes the stretch a little bit, and you can hold it here and inhale. This can be a quick movement, but for the most part, I like to keep it nice and slow, okay? Giving myself lots of time to breathe. Then, when you come back, you wanna make sure that you go through all the motions. Okay, so you exhale to come back up, coming first into your unrotating, into your side bend, and then coming all the way up and counter stretching, okay? So we're opening up this side a little bit as well. I'm gonna show you that a little faster. Inhale, feel tall. Exhale, side bend. Inhale, hold it. Exhale, rotate. Now, as you rotate and as you side bend, you want to keep that top hip down, which is why maybe you've got a pillow there, okay? Rotating towards the floor. Inhale, hold it. Exhale, unrotate, stack up, counter stretch. Now, I like to do it 3 times, so I'm going to try to do it one more time without any new information for you. So the last new info there was that this hip should be down and should be really, really in contact with something. That sit bone is reaching towards the earth, okay? So one last time. Inhale, feel tall. Exhale, side bend. Inhale, hold it. Exhale, rotate. Inhale, hold it. Exhale, unrotate. Stack up, counter stretch. Now I'm just going to show you the one side because I feel like I've got all my great information in there for you. But just so you know, when you switch the legs, you just kind of swing the weight over onto that left hip, bring the right heel behind you, and bring the left sole of the foot up against that right thigh. And again, you might feel different from side to side in the hips. So maybe one side you didn't need some support, and on this side you do. Maybe on the other side you didn't need the little warm-up rotation, and on this side you do. Who knows? Maybe it's opposite. Just, you know, honor your body, and when you're doing mermaid, just honor the fact that it's supposed to feel good and it's a stretch for the whole body, and that it's really, really beneficial to get that breath in there, because not only are you stretching your muscles with your breath, because in that part of the body that is part of the muscle's job, but you're also opening up the lung capacity so that you can breathe better throughout the rest of your Pilates exercises. Again, this is one of my favorites. I like to just do it randomly as often as I can. I have variations standing that you may have seen and may seem familiar to you in my workout videos. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out in the comments. I love to hear from you, and I hope you're having a really great day and that you learned a little bit about yourself and about Pilates during this video. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope to get to see you around again soon. Bye!